Hi, I'm Chef Kevin Reading of Abbott's Grill, and welcome to Flavor, a show based on interesting people and places of the Chesapeake region. From culinary artisans to craftsmen around the area. We'll interview them, and I'll bring back the product and show you what I would do with it. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll learn something together.
Pfeiffer Orchards, homegrown fruits and vegetables since 1919. Bring the family and come enjoy the best the season has to offer.
Join to get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's CSA program.
Now is the time to reserve your turkey and pies for the holidays. Pfeiffer Orchards, from our lands direct to your hands.
Hey, Eric here. Don't miss a thing at Mississippian River Brewing, the world's premier craft brewery located in Milford, Delaware. Stop on by for a sample, or a six-pack, or a growler, or if you just want to stop by and have a pint. Check us out at MississippianRiverBrewing.com.
All right, we're coming to you from Camden, Wyoming. We're at TA Farms, and we're with Elizabeth Carter on a little bit of a drizzly day. So I hope you don't mind. We don't mind.
Nope.
Yeah,
I don't mind getting a little wet.
Yeah.
But
Hey, welcome. And
thank you for having me.
My pleasure. We've kind of worked together for a while. We do farmers markets together, and I really think your product's very special.
Thank you.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about the TA Farms and the family history?
All right. It started with my great-grandparents. They started raising turkeys, about 50 of them, as just Christmas gifts for local neighbors. And then it kind of went to my mom and papa, and they started the business with my dad. And now my mom and papa passed away, and now it's a core of us, which is my mom, my dad, and my two older brothers.
Right.
My mom was a school teacher for years. She retired and came back to help on the farm, and then my dad's farmed his whole life. And then my two older brothers and me, we all went away to college, and we all decided to come back to the farm because my dad was very adamant in the beginning about going away and trying other things because this was his dream. He didn't want to force it on us. He wanted to make sure we wanted to do it for us, not for him. And we all ended up back here. So yep, it's
awesome.
been a good time.
So besides talking turkey, which obviously I couldn't wait to use that, by the way. But your turkeys are very sought after. I know they're selling them at Pfeiffer's. It's a huge season for you in November, obviously.
Yep, we do about 9,000 turkeys a year. We do roughly 5,000, 6,000 at Thanksgiving. We do the remainder at Christmas and then throughout the year.
Okay.
But we sell a fresh product, and we grind the feed right here on the farm. So it's all ingredients that we know where they were raised, where it was grown.
Right.
And it's all stuff that we mix together. So there's no antibiotics, no medications.
Hormone-free.
Hormone-free, yep.
Yeah.
And they mostly roam out like this. They do have access to inside buildings.
They're free range. They're happy birds.
Yep, they're happy birds. Yep, they get feed all day, any day, every time. I mean, it's just feeders that stay full, so they eat whatever they want to eat whenever they want to eat.
Yeah.
And then we also do beef cows, pigs, chickens, and they're all raised the same way as well. No hormones, no antibiotics, nothing like that.
How, if somebody wanted to get your product, how would they source you?
We're in a couple retail locations like Pfeiffer Orchards. We have a retail store on the farm, which is open Fridays and Saturdays year-round. Farmers markets during the summer. We have quite a few retail shops up in the northern location like Hockessin, Newark, Greenville. Lewis mostly is during farmers markets. You can eat our turkey at a lot of restaurants. Forgotten Mile at the beach, Naj, well, Fork and Flask now.
Right.
Dogfish Head. I'm trying to think who else. Big Fish Grill.
Abbott's Grill.
Abbott's Grill. Yeah, I'm trying to go beach and work my way up. Restaurant 55. So we're in a lot more restaurants, more so than retail stores,
Right.
but we're kind of spread throughout the
Right.
state.
Now, turkey, more healthy.
Yes.
And so,
Definitely healthier for you, although I do love red meat.
right.
It's definitely a healthier option, and it's something we've seen. I mean, it's grown exponentially because of the way that the market's moving towards a healthier product. Eating healthier, eating local, our growth has just taken off for that.
Sure.
I think I started back on the farm 5 years ago, and my dad was like, "This is going to be your baby, the meat. That's how you're going to make your money," and it grew from 2,000 turkeys to 9,000 within 4 years.
So we moved inside. It started to rain a little bit, so we're in the retail store right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And-
And this is open every Friday and Saturday from 9 to 5.
Okay.
And we always have plenty of stock of everything from beef, pork, turkey, chicken, and lamb.
Okay.
And then we typically have some fresh stuff. Most of it is frozen. But if there was anything anyone wanted, like specially done, just call ahead and we have
Have
it.
it ready for 'em.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so you got a big Thanksgiving time coming
Yes, very big.
up. All right. If you wanted to get a number, what's your phone number if they wanted to?
302-492-3030.
Okay. So if they wanted to get a roast or if they want to get anything.
Yeah,
particular.
anything. We do hams, standing rib roast, and then obviously we do the whole turkeys for Thanksgiving, and we do the same thing for Christmas.
Okay.
So, sometimes at Christmas people want to switch it up a little bit.
Right.
So we do the different kinds of products for them,
Right.
pork loins, different stuff like that.
Super. So and if you want to come to either Brickworks or Abbott's Grill, we just recently put a TA Farms Steak of the Moment.
Yes.
And it's been received really well. People
Good.
are like, they love it. You know,
Good.
and it could be a 16-ounce Delmonico or a hand-cut fillet, or it could be a strip steak. But people love that steak of the moment.
Yeah,
So,
it's awesome to hear stuff like that because we work really hard to put good food on the table, and
Right.
it's something that we all are passionate about.
Yeah.
So we like to hear good feedback about it.
Absolutely. We're going to head back to the restaurant. I'm going to grab a couple items from you.
Okay.
I'm going to cook them up and show you what I do with them.
All right.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Hey, Eric here. Don't miss a thing at Nispillion River Brewing, the world's premier craft brewery located in Milford, Delaware. Stop on by for a sample, or a six-pack, or a growler, or if you just want to stop by and have a pint. Check us out at NispillionRiverBrewing.com.
Hi, welcome to Stuffed Fitness. Everything from step mills to treadmills, arc trainers, ellipticals, upright bikes, recumbent bikes, and even a couple of rowers. At Stuffed Fitness, we have over 23 classes on the schedule every week, from body pumps, kickboxing, to boot camps, spin classes. We do small group training. We have personal training. We even offer judo jiu-jitsu program. We have a little bit of everything for everybody. Stuffed Fitness.
Hi, welcome back. We just got back from Camden, Wyoming, where we talked with Elizabeth from TA Farms. Had all those great turkeys, they had some beef, and they also had the pork. Today, I want to do the pork dish. We're actually putting it on the menu at Brickworks, and we're doing, like I said, we're doing the TA Farms Steak of the Moment. But this pork dish had a lot of fall ingredients going on. I'm able to use a lot of things from Pfeiffer's today, like the butternut squash. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the bacon. And I'm doing a pork loin. I'm going to stuff the pork loin with a bacon, butternut squash, and sun-dried cherry stuffing. We're going to sear that off and roast it and come up with a delicious finish. So, starting off with rendering a little bacon in the pan. A little bit of oil, it's a blended oil. I'm going to go ahead and take the butternut squash, and just to let you know that I already took the there's a whole pork loin. I trimmed it down just to save a little time, and I pretty much cut it in half. So we're just going to do half of one right now. So the butternut squash, what I like to do here is you have pretty much all from here forward is going to be the flesh. From here over is going to be where the seeds are. So I'll make a cut right through it like that. I'll take my skin off. You certainly can do this with a peeler. Might be more efficient, I don't know. If you got a good sharp knife, keep your fingers out of the way. It just kind of works for me. And sometimes you have a little bit of skin down the bottom that you miss, so I kind of pick it up and just see if there's, I did pretty well. So from here, I like to square the vegetable off. If you're not into wasting too much, then you can use this for another type of implementation. So I cut my butternut squash here and cut them into medium dice pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and cut them, square them off. A little oil, salt, and pepper. I'm going to roast those for maybe about 30 minutes so they just start getting nice and soft. And I'll end up doing that whole amount there. With this guy here, what I end up doing is I make a cut all the way through it, and I would take a spoon and I take all the seeds out of the middle, and I would put a little bit of oil, salt, and pepper, roast them flesh side down, and about a half hour, 40 minutes, you have a really nice soft butternut squash. You can puree it, you can use it in whatever you'd like to do. And I also roasted off a little bit of mushrooms. In a pan here, took some sun-dried cherries and I'm reconstituting them. I did them in just a little bit of water, and then brought them up to a simmer, turn it off, and let it just kind of rehydrate on its own. I'll strain it off when we get ready to make the stuffing. So let it kind of do its own thing right now. Probably use half of a onion. Make a couple nice little cuts this way. A couple cuts that way. A couple cuts that way. And you have yourself your onions. So we'll get that ready to go. Then I have some celery. Cut those in half here. So what I ended up doing with the bread, I kind of used whatever I had around, and I did have a lot of hot dog buns actually. And so I tore them apart. One of the best things that you could do is you want to dry them out the best you can. You can put them in maybe an oven that has just the pilot light on, and you can let them dry out of it. So that way it just has a little more texture to it. So I'm ready to saute there. You can go ahead and use it same pan as your bacon. I want to kind of get that a little head start there. So over here, I was telling you what I was doing with bread. So I was trying to dry it out. I had it on my stove for a couple hours, just trying to dry it out. So right here, it's about a whole package of buns, just gently torn. This is a little minced garlic here. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of that. And I'm going to go ahead and add the onions and celery. A couple larger chunks I'll discard. Then let's go over to the pork. The bacon is starting to render down nicely with the onions and celery. I'm going to add a little bit of dried sage to it. have some fresh sage in the garden, so I'm gonna maybe in a few moments I'll try to sneak out there and grab a little bit off our patio. So that's almost good. I'm gonna turn that way down here. So let's go over to the pork. I have that pork loin here. I'm gonna go ahead and make a little incision about half or 3/4 of the way, and just try to gently butterfly it out a little bit. So we're gonna butterfly it. Let's try to do the same thing on this side. And I have a little bit of plastic wrap. And I have a meat mallet here. So I like it with the, it's kind of like it marinates it a little bit. So you want it probably, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch. Looks pretty good right there. Hit yourself with a little bit of salt and pepper on the inside. And then to our mixture here, I'm going to go ahead and add about a cup of mushrooms, about a cup of the butternut squash. Oh heck, let's go do more. That's going to be too good. And then with the sun-dried cherries, I'm going to add those in. That's got a lot of flavor. Why don't we add a little, I think I'm normally going to add a little chicken stock, but since this has such nice flavor, I think I'm going to add that into it as well. I got my bacon, onions, and celery. I'm going to go ahead and add this. I'm at a point where I need to go grab a couple of ingredients, so we're going to take a break right now. Stay tuned, and we'll be back and kind of conclude what we're doing. Thank you for watching Flavor.
Pfeiffer Orchards, homegrown fruits and vegetables since 1919. Bring the family and come enjoy the best the season has to offer.
Join to get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's CSA program.
Now is the time to reserve your turkey and pies for the holidays. Pfeiffer Orchards, from our lands direct to your hands.
A master of farm-to-table cuisine, an award-winning duo of local ingredient brewing join forces to create a culinary experience made from the best that Delaware has to offer. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, a made-from-scratch fusion of Delaware's best, like glazed baby back ribs and apple jalapeno slaw, paired with drop trowel, Brickworks exclusive unfiltered IPA. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, made from scratch from plate to glass.
Hey, Eric here. Don't miss a thing at Mississippian River Brewing, the world's premier craft brewery located in Milford, Delaware. Stop on by for a sample, or a 6-pack, or a growler, or if you just want to stop by and have a pint. Check us out at MississippianRiverBrewing.com.
So welcome back. I went in our back. I remember Elizabeth had given me some chicken livers, so I just wanted to incorporate them in my stuffing. So some people put gizzards and everything, but this kind of adds just a nice earthy flavor, so I want to incorporate that in there. So I just did a quick saute of them, and I'm just going to dice them down. Not doing so many that it's going to really impart a liver flavor. If I didn't tell you it was in there, you probably wouldn't even know. It would just be like, ooh, something tastes really good, and not sure what it is. So that's what I did. I have 4 to 5 eggs for this. These are 5 eggs for that amount right there. So I'm going to add that over there, and I'm going to put on a glove here because I'm going to mix this by hand. I'm going to incorporate this first because all the egg mixture's on top. I have a warm chicken stock, so I'm trying not to curdle the eggs or anything like that. This is wonderful. We did this for a cooking class, and we were just amazed at the flavor combination. And being right in the middle of fall. How can you go wrong? So this could be made the night before. Refrigerate it and get your meat ready and prepare it that next day if you want. So anyway, I did that. I added a little salt and pepper to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start adding my stuffing to it. And I'll go, got to be careful not to add too much or you'll end up squeezing it out of the sides. Go. I think that's enough to get started. And I'm going to kind of roulade it where we just kind of roll it. Have it kind of tight. Like that. And then I have some butcher's twine. Now another way that you can do this is you could just take, maybe take aluminum foil and wrap it in aluminum foil. Spray the aluminum foil and you can roll the whole thing in it. That way your stuffing's not going to fall out. That's another way to do it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to invert it or twist it inside like that, come underneath it, and then pull it tight. Now I'm trying not to pull it too tight or once again your stuffing's going to come out. The idea is I'm trying to seal it up so when we cook it, the eggs in the stuffing are going to set the stuffing in place. And then we're going to cook this to about 120 degrees. I'm actually going to sear this first to get a little caramelization working. Done. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. I have a little pan going in the background, so we're just going to brown this off before we place it in the oven. Nice liberal seasoning of salt and pepper. So I went ahead and started browning this in the pan. I've got it on two sides right now. The idea of doing it this way would be a good way so you don't have to wash a lot of pans and pots. So I'm going to brown it on that last side. I'm just going to go ahead and cook it right in the oven. Went ahead and just put it in 350 degrees. I'm going to check it in about 15 minutes. I'm looking for 140 degrees internal temperature, being that we're using eggs into the mixture. I want those eggs to set up, and I don't want like a raw stuffing. Then we're going to rest the roulade for maybe a half hour to an hour, and then we'll be able to cut it. Once the proteins have reset, we'll be able to cut it, and then we'll show you how we would plate it. Make sure to stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Pfeiffer Orchards, homegrown fruits and vegetables since 1919. Bring the family and come enjoy the best the season has to offer.
Join to get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's CSA program.
Now is the time to reserve your turkey and pies for the holidays. Pfeiffer Orchards, from our lands, direct to your hands.
A master of farm-to-table cuisine, an award-winning duo of local ingredient brewing joined forces to create a culinary experience made from the best that Delaware has to offer. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, a made-from-scratch fusion of Delaware's best, like glazed baby back ribs and apple jalapeno slaw, paired with drop trowel, Brickworks exclusive unfiltered IPA. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, made from scratch from plate to glass.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
welcome back. We went ahead and pulled out the pork loin at 140 degrees, and I put it in the walk-in just to speed up this process just a little bit, just to allow the proteins to set a little bit quicker. I'm going to go ahead and take off my strings here, and we'll see how close we got to our temperature. Still want a little color. I don't want it way overdone or anything like that, but we got some nice caramelization on the bottom there. Get my strings off. And then behind me, just to kind of accompany it a little bit, I went ahead and did a pomegranate reduction with demi-glace. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of that on the plate here, however you want. Maybe I might hit the top a little something. And then over here, we had some beautiful Pfeiffer Brussels sprouts. And what I did, I started with bacon. I added mustard seeds, a little bit of honey, chicken stock. Another thing here, I could have put something spicy in it to do like a sweet and spicy type presentation, but just with that, the sweetness and the bacon, the sweet and salty should be awesome. So, whoop. So here's the truth. See what we look like here. So make a couple quick cuts here. Still has a nice little heat to it. See the butternut squash in there? Beautifully done. I have some pomegranate seeds to set it off, a little garnish. And don't be sloppy like me. And then you can maybe just hit just a tiny bit, cascade it down the center there if you want. So there you go, using lots of farms, TA Farms in Camden, Wyoming. A little throw out to you. And I hope you picked up something today, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining Flavor. Hi, today we're going to head to Wyoming, Delaware and meet Mike Fenimore of Pfeiffer's Orchards. He's going to give us some of the great wisdom of his farming career and show you his unbelievable facility. So stay tuned. I'm Chef Kevin Reading of Abbott's Grill, and welcome to Flavor, a show based on interesting people and places of the Chesapeake region. Stay tuned, and hopefully we'll learn something together.